Good morning, guys. This is Sunita. Welcome to your class, Class 11, Chapter 3, English, Discovering Tut the Saga continues by A.R. Williams. So, today, let us start line to line explanation of the chapter. Yesterday, I told you about the summary and almost things were clear in the summary, but let us do line to line explanation. He was just a teenager. He was almost 18 or 19 years old when he died, the last heir of a powerful family that had ruled Egypt and its empire for centuries. I told you yesterday that he was the last emperor of the powerful dynasty of Egypt which ruled Egypt for centuries. He was laid to rest laden with gold. Here, laid to rest laden means he was buried with gold. If you saw the video, you can clearly get to know that his inner coffin was made of gold, and not only the inner coffin, in fact along with him many jewelries were also buried with him and eventually forgotten. He was buried, and with the passage of time, he was forgotten also by the people. Since the discovery of his tomb in 1922, until it was discovered by an English archaeologist Howard Carter in 1922, this tomb was a mystery. This tomb was unknown by the people. The modern world has speculated about what happened to him, with murder being the most extreme possibility. Now, here, when the tomb was discovered, first of all, it was it was a priority that we wanted to know how did he die, what was the reason of his death. So his CT scan was done. So this is the thing that the modern world was most interested in it, that they wanted to get to know about the reason. Most probably this was a guess that he was murdered. Now, leaving his tomb for the first time in almost 80 years, firstly, it was discovered in 1922 by an archaeologist, English archaeologist Howard Carter, and then 5 January 2005, again the dead body was scanned. That's why, see the difference between 1922 to 2005, almost 80 years. So that's why here it has been said that first time it was in 1922 and second time 2005. So 80 years are done. Tut has undergone a CT scan that offers new clues about his life and death and provides precise data of an acute forensic reconstruction of the boyish pharaoh. Now, the CT scan is giving us a forensic reconstruction. Forensic reconstruction means this is a virtual image of the body, of face and body, and through this virtual image, the experts, they wanted to get to know about the reason of his death. So next is an angry wind stirred up ghostly dust devils as King Tut was taken from his resting place in the ancient Egypt cemetery known as the Valley of the Kings. Now here the writer is telling us what was the weather, what was the condition of the weather at that time when the King Tut body was taken out from the resting place, means from the tomb. The wind, they were angry, the wind were angry. Here personification has been used because we are saying an angry wind. We are personifying the wind. So the winds were quite at good speed, and Tut was taken from his resting place. And what was the name of the cemetery of his tomb? Actually, it was Valley of Kings. I told you in the map that Valley of Kings here, and here this is that tomb of King Tut. Dark believed clouds had scudded across the desert sky all day and now were veiling the stars in casket gray. Now see why desert has been used here, because you know very well, I think that Egypt is almost area as a desert place. So here again personification has been used. See, dark bellied clouds had scoured across the desert sky. Actually the dark clouds, the black clouds, they just veiled होता है घूंघट करना, they just covered the stars in the sky. It was 6 p.m. on 5th January 2005. The world's most famous mummy glided head first into a city scanner, brought half to a probe the lingering medical mysteries of this little understood younger ruler who died more than 3,300 years ago. Now see, this is the date when the writer was witnessing the CT scan process. That's why, and initially whatever the data has been provided here, that is on the basis of his research. The world's most famous mummy, King Tut's dead body is world's most famous mummy. The reason behind that, it was a glided head first behind the, it was glided means this mummy had the maximum amount of gold and maximum number of luxury items, and it was put in the city scanner, brought here to probe the lingering medical mysteries. It was there to solve the mysteries, the medical mystery, that how the King Tut died of little understood young ruler. Your young ruler is King Tut, who died more than 3,300 years ago. And when did he die? He died 3,300 years ago. So next paragraph is, all afternoon the usual line of tourists from around the world had descended into the cramped rock cut tomb some 26 feet underground to pay their respects. Now see here, the tomb, where is the tomb? The tomb is not on the ground, this is ground. The tomb is 26 feet underground, and to watch, to witness the tomb of King Tut, the visitors who were there to witness the event, they went downstairs and they were there to witness the tomb. They gazed at murals on the walls of burial chambers and peered at Tut's glided face, the most striking feature of his mummy-shaped outer coffin lid. Now, if you just remember in the first video, some pictures were shown on the walls here. Those are the pictures are talked about here, murals. Okay, so those are the murals which I showed you in the video of the burial chamber. Burial chamber means here this is the tomb, and here these are the burial chambers. The chambers were made, separate chambers were made in his tomb, so those chambers have been called here burial chambers. So the Tut's glided face, the most striking feature of his mummy. What was the most striking feature of his mummy? Shaped outer coffin lid. Here see, he was put inside. This is the outer coffin, like as usual coffin, but inside the coffin there was another coffin, inner coffin, and which was made of gold, and it was a shape of his body only. So that's why that was the most striking thing. Some visitors read from guidebooks in a whisper. They read something from the guidebook in a whisper. Others stood silently, perhaps pondering Tut's untimely death in his late teens, or wondering whether shiver if the pharaoh's curse. Now here the visitors who were witnessing, they were some were whispering about the things, some were standing silently, and some visitors, they were shivering because they were afraid of the pharaoh's curse. Here there was a curse, means I told you that to save the mummies of their kings, the Egyptians. They they provoke a curse that whosoever will disturb the pharaohs from their sleep, there would be a curse that they were not going to live for much time. So this was a curse, and the visitors were thinking about the curse, death or misfortune falling upon those who disturbed him. This was the curse, that either they would be died or the misfortune would follow them. Was really true. They were thinking about it, whether it was true or it was not true. So guys, we'll meet in the next video for further explanation. Till then, thank you. Have a nice day.